Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on this Wednesday, June the 26th. We have Dr. Anand Chockalingam with us. Good to have you here.
Pleasure is
Heart
always
specialist.
mine.
Yes, heart specialist with University Healthcare. Today, doctor, you wanted to talk about blood pressure, right?
Yes.
Blood pressure is a silent killer, is it not?
You put it the right way. The trouble with blood pressure is, unless we take the effort to measure it, we may not recognize that we have high blood pressure.
Are there any warning signs that you have high blood pressure? Do you make you dizzy or make you feel weak?
If the pressure is really, really high, if it's 200 systolic or 120 diastolic, you may have headaches, feeling tired, chest pains, trouble breathing, and other symptoms. But more often than not, I would say 90% of people with high blood pressure have lesser elevations in the 140, 170, 180 range, and they don't have symptoms for months, sometimes years, and even decades before the manifestations. So the manifestations are not for blood pressure. They are the manifestations of end organ damage. So that is the real concern with this being the silent killer. Say, for instance, somebody having high blood pressure from the age of, say, 35 until 40, 50 doesn't get recognized for 10 years, 15 years. At that point, when they are diagnosed with high blood pressure and treated, they already have damage with their vision, with their kidneys, with their heart. They may end up with a stroke before they are diagnosed with high blood pressure.
What does high blood pressure, how does it damage your kidneys?
So the role for us having a blood pressure, or anything in the living world has blood pressure, to maintain supply to the brain so that we can go around, perform, and do all the activities that we want to do. Since we obtained the erect posture as human beings, we've been having to maintain sufficient blood pressure to cope with day-to-day activities. The challenge here is, as we get older, the arteries get stiffer. This, I would say, is the most important measure of actual aging. We are measuring our age chronologically from the date we are born, but biologically this may be the most important measure, the stiffness in the arteries. And that manifests as higher blood pressure as we get older. So in a way, high blood pressure may be looked at as a way of aging. But even that, in the scientific literature, it is clearly documented that we don't accept or allow higher blood pressures even for people at an advanced age. We want to bring it lower down. If they are tolerating normal blood pressures, that's where we want to be.
So a person of, what do you call advanced age?
Nowadays, I would say anybody above the age of 85, we have to be careful in lowering the blood pressure.
Above 85? Okay. So you don't, I'll be 74. You don't call me advanced age?
You look like you're only 55.
Oh, I like you.
Honestly, that's what I would have thought is your age.
You would thought I was 55.
Definitely.
Isn't that nice of him to say?
So,
I don't feel, I don't know what you're supposed to feel like at 74,
excellent.
but I feel like I did when I was in my 30s.
Excellent. So this is the difference between lifespan and health span. We are all hoping to live 90, 100 years if we can, but not just in lifespan. We want that life to be in health. That's why it is so much more important to have a good health span where we can say, yes, I've lived to 95, 105 years of age, and all that time I was active, productive, doing things I wanted to do.
Being active is very important, isn't it? Now, what are some of the things that you can do to lower your blood pressure if you have high blood pressure?
Medicines, we have 50 medicines, so many different groups of medicines which lower it.
Isn't it better to try to lower it naturally and not with medicine?
Good. I wish more of my patients would come to me and ask, what can I do to get my health better, how to get my blood pressure better? There are several things that we have to look at.
Okay.
At first, honestly, we have to look at our weight. That tends to be a good barometer of how we have taken care of our health for the last 10 years, 20 years. So we have to try to achieve an ideal body mass index, a waist circumference that is healthy. That itself will help lower the blood pressure for many people who are on the heavier side.
Losing weight, that helps lower blood pressure.
Losing weight is a huge factor.
And then eating right.
Eating right, eating more fruits, vegetables, a more balanced diet, cutting back on processed meat, cutting back on red meat would definitely help. And the other important thing I would say is what we drink. People think alcohol, more than a lesser, like 1 or 2 drinks, is not healthy. People think tea, coffee is not that healthy when you drink in big portions. Even more harmful would be soda and caffeinated beverages.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say the biggest challenge for people, especially with high blood pressure, is drinks that have added salt, added sugar, like energy drinks.
Stay away from that.
Energy drinks.
Stay away from it.
Even children are given that thinking they're going to perform in athletic events. But if you are in an athletic event, it is helpful when you cannot have a good meal and you're competing all day long. But even for the same athlete, it's not healthy when they are sitting at home and relaxing or watching television.
Water is the best thing.
Water would be safest.
Water is the best thing, right? And watch what you eat. Stay active with exercise. What about our mental state? That
Yes.
affects our blood pressure also, correct?
Definitely. And that we don't recognize. We think life is stressful and we assume that stress is part of the deal. But if we pay a little more attention to it and try to relax consciously, just take 5-10 minutes in the morning to just sit down in a chair, think of something pleasant that happened that week, that year. Maybe it happened 3 years ago. But think about some future holiday that you're going to have fun. Something that is pleasant for 5 minutes in the morning, maybe 5 minutes in the evening. Just sit down and relax. That itself will bring the pressure down so beautifully.
Yes. And think about all the good things in your life. Think about all the blessings that you have in your life. So many of us are blessed in so many ways, and we don't think about that enough. We dwell on the negative, but we've got good things in our life that we need to dwell on, and that's going to help the blood pressure too, correct?
Definitely. Acknowledging stress, dealing with stress is excellent. Finding positive mindset, relaxing, that is even better. That way you can cope with all the issues that life throws at us.
All right.
Much better.
If people want more information, how can they get in contact with you?
I'm at cardiology at MU, so they can call us anytime.
MU Cardiology, and be happy to get all the information they need, right?
With
and
pleasure.
you can also go online.
We have lots of programs to help patients with high blood pressure.
Dr. Anand Chockalingam, thank you so much for coming. I feel even more relaxed now talking to you, especially you told me I look like I'm only 55.
You are, biologically.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to have you here. Come back again.
Pleasure is mine.
Okay? Drop me an email, something you'd like to hear or see, pepperpmissouri.edu. Bye-bye.